and profit. I hate the Moor, and it is thought abroad that twixt my sheets he has done my office. I know not if that be true, but I, for mere suspicion of the kind, will do as if for surety. He holds me well, the better shall my purpose work on him. Cassio's a proper man. Let's see now, to get his place and to plume up my will in double knavery. How? Let's see. After some time to abuse Othello's ear that he is too familiar with his wife, he hath a person and a smooth disposed to be suspected, framed to make women false. The Moor is of a free and open nature that thinks men honest but seem to be so, and will as tenderly be led by the nose as asses are. I have it. It is engendered. Hell and night must bring this monstrous birth to the world's light.
What from the cave can you discern at sea?
Nothing at all. It is a high-wrought flood. I cannot twixt the heaven and the main descry a sail.
Thinks the wind hath spoke aloud at land. A fuller blast ne'er shook our battlements. If it hath ruffianed so upon the sea, what ribs of oak, when mountains melt on them, can hold the Mortees? What shall we hear of this?
The segregation of the Turkish fleet. For do but stand upon the foaming shore. The chidden below seems to pelt the clouds. The wind shakes surge with high and monstrous mane, seems to cast water on the burning bear, and quench the guards of the ever-fixed pole. I never did, like molestation view, on the end-sharp flood.
If that the Turkish fleet be not in shelter and embayed, they are drowned. It is impossible they bear it out.
Heroes, lads, our wars are done. A desperate tempest had so banged the Turks that their assignment halts. A noble ship of Venice had seen a grievous wreck and sufferance on most part of their fleet.
How? Is this true?
The ship is here put in, a Veronesa. Michael Cassio, lieutenant to the warlike Moor Othello, has come on shore. The Moor himself at sea and is in full commission here for Cyprus.
I'm glad on't. 'Tis a worthy governor.
But the same Cassio, though he speak of comfort touching the Turkish loss, yet he looks sadly, and prays the Moor be safe, for they were parted with foul and violent tempest.
Pray heavens he be, for I have served him, and the man commands like a full soldier. Let's to the seaside, ho, as well to see the vessel that's come in, as to throw out our eyes for brave Othello, even till we make the main and the aerial blue an indistinct regard.
Come, let's do so, for every minute is expectancy of more arrivals.
Thanks. You, the valiant, this warlike isle that so approve them all. Oh, let the heavens give him defense against the elements, for I have lost our sim on a dangerous sea.
Is he well shipped?
His bark is stoutly timbered, his pilot a very expert, and approved allowance. Therefore my hopes, not defeated to death, stand in bold cure.
A sail! A sail! A sail!
What noise?
The town is empty. At the prow of the sea stand ranks of people, and they cry, "A sail!"
My hopes do shape him for the governor.
They do discharge their short of courtesy. Our friends at least.
I pray you, sir, go forth, and give us truth who 'tis that has arrived.
I shall.
But, good lieutenant, is your general wived?
Ah, most fortunately, he hath achieved a mate that paragons description and wild fame, one that excels the quirks of blazoning pens and, in the essential vesture of creation, does tie the ingénieur. Hannah, who's put in?
'Tis one Iago, ancient to the general,
has had most favourable and happy speed. Tempests themselves, high seas and howling winds, gutted rocks and congregated sands, traitors and steep to clog the guiltless keel, as having a sense of beauty do omit their mortal natures, letting go safely by the divine Desdemona.
What is she?
She that I spake of, our great captain's captain, left in the conduct of the bold Iago, whose footing here anticipates our thoughts as a night's speed. Ah, great Jove, Othello guard, and swell his sail with thine own powerful breath, that he may bless this bay with his tall ship, make love's quick pants in Desdemona's arms, give renewed fire to our extincted spirits, and bring all Cyprus comfort. Oh, behold, the riches of the ship is come in on shore. Ye men of Cyprus, let her have your knees. Hail to thee, lady, and the grace of heaven, afore, behind thee, and on every hand, and wheel thee round.
I thank you, valiant Cassio. What tidings can you tell me of my lord?
He is not yet arrived, nor know I aught, but that he is well and will be shortly here.
Oh, but I fear. How lost you company?
Great contention of the sea and skies parted our fellowship. But hark, a sail.
We give the greeting to the citadel. This likewise is a friend.
See for the news. Oh, good ancient, you are welcome. Welcome, mistress. Let it not gall your patience, good Iago, that I extend my manners. 'Tis my breeding that gives me this bold show of courtesy.
Sir, would she give you as much of her lips as oft of her tongue she bestows on me? You will have enough.
Alas, she has no speech.
In faith, too much. I find it still when I have list to sleep. Marry, before your ladyship I grant, she puts her tongue in her heart and chides with thinking.
You have little cause to say so.
Come on, come on. You are pictures out of doors, bells in your parlors, wild cats in your kitchens, saints your injuries, devils being offended, players in your housewifery, and husifs in your bed.
Oh, fie upon thee, slanderer.
Nay, 'tis true, or else I'm a Turk. You rise to play and go to bed to work.
You shall not write my praise.
No, let me not.
What wouldst thou write of me, if thou shouldst praise me?
Oh, gentle lady, do not put me to it, for I am nothing if not critical.
Oh, come on, I say. Has one gone to the harbour?
Aye, madam.
I'm not merry, but I do beguile the thing I am by seeming otherwise. Come, how wouldst thou praise me?
I am about it, but indeed my invention comes from my paters, birdlime does from frieze. It plucks out brains and all, but my muse labours, and thus she is delivered. If she be fair and wise, fairness and wit, the one's for use, and the other use it.
Well praised. How if she be black and witty?
If she be black, and there to have a wit, she'll find a white that shall her blackness fit.
Worse and worse. How if fair and foolish?
She never yet was foolish that was fair, for even her folly helped her to an heir.
These are old fond paradoxes to make fools laugh in the alehouse. But what miserable praise hast thou for her that's foul and foolish?
There's none so foul and foolish thereunto, but does pranks, which fair and wise ones do.
No, heavy ignorance, thou praisest the worst best. But what praise couldst thou bestow on a deserving woman indeed, one that in the authority of her merit did justly put on the vouch of very malice itself?
She that was ever fair and never proud, had tongue at will and yet was never loud, never lacked gold and yet went never gay, fled from her wish and said, now I may. She that being angered, her revenge being nigh, bade her wrong stay and let her displeasure fly. She that in wisdom ever was so frail, to change the cod's head for the salmon's tail. She that could think and ne'er disclose her mind, see suitors following and not look behind. She was a white, if ever such white were.
To do what?
suckle fools and chronicle small beer.
Most lame and impotent conclusion. Do not learn of him, Amelia, though he be thy husband. How say you, Cassio? Is he not a most profane and liberal counsellor?
You may relish him more in the soldier than in the scholar.
Takes her by the palm. Aye, well said. With as little a web as this will I ensnare as great to fly as Cassio. Aye, smile upon her, do. I will give thee in thine own courtship. You say true, 'tis so indeed. If such tricks as these strip you of your lieutenantry, it had been better you had not kissed those 3 fingers so oft, which even now you are more apt to play the sir in. Very good, well kissed, an excellent courtesy. Yet again your fingers to your lips. Would they were cloister pipes for your sake. The Moor! I know his trumpet!
Oh, 'tis truly so.
Well, let's meet him and receive him.
Oh, where he comes.
Fair warrior,
Oh, my dear Othello.
it gives me wonder, great is my content, to see you here before me. Oh, my soul's joy. If after every tempest come such calms, may the winds blow till they have wakened death, and let the laboring bark climb hills of seas, Olympus high, and duck again as low as hells from heaven. For if it were now to die, it were now to be most happy. For I fear that my heart hath a content so absolute, that not another comfort like this succeeds in unknown fate.
Oh, the heavens forbid. But that our loves and comforts should increase even as our days do grow.
Amen to that, sweet powers. I cannot speak enough of this content. It stops me here. It is too much joy. And this, our greatest discords be, that e'er our hearts shall make.
Oh, you are well tuned now. But I'll set down the pegs that make this music as honest as I am.
Come, let us to the castle. News, friends! Our wars are done! The Turks are drowned! How does my old acquaintance of this isle? Desdemona, you shall be well desired in Cyprus. I have found great love amongst them. Oh, my sweet, I prattle out of fashion and dote in mine own comforts. Iago, go to the bay and disembark my coffers. Bring thou the master to the citadel. He is a good one, and does challenge much respect. Come, Desdemona. Once more, well met at Cyprus.
Dost thou meet me presently at the harbour? Come hither. If thou beest valiant, as they say base men being in love have then a nobility in their natures more than is native to them, list me. The lieutenant tonight watches over the court of guard. First, I must tell thee this. Desdemona is directly in love with Cassio.
Him? Why, this not possible.
Lay thy finger thus, and let thy soul be instructed. Mark me with what violence she first loved the Moor, but for bragging and telling her fantastical lies. And will she love him still for prating? Let not thy discreet heart think it. Her eye must be fed, and what delight will she have to look upon the devil? When the blood is made dull with the act of sport, there must be again to inflame it, to give satiety a fresh appetite, loveliness and favour, sympathy in years and manners and beauties, all of which the Moor is defective in. Now, for want of these required conveniences, her delicate tenderness will find itself abused, begin to heave the gorge, disrelish and abhor the Moor. Very nature will instruct her in it, and compel her to some second choice. Now, sir, this granted, as it is a most pregnant and unforced position, who stands more eminent in this degree than Cassio does? A knave, very voluble, no further controllable than in putting on a mere form of civil and humane seeming for the better compassing of his salt and most hidden loose affection. A slipper and a subtle knave, a finder of occasions, that has an eye can stamp and counterfeit advantage, though true advantage never presents itself. A devilish knave. Besides, the knave is young, handsome, and hath in him all those requisites which folly and green minds look after. A pestilent, complete knave. And the woman hath found him already.
I cannot believe that in her. She is full of most blessed condition.
Blessed fig's end! The wine she drinks is made of grapes. If she had been blessed, she would have never loved the more. Blessed pudding! Didst not see her paddle with the palm of his hand? Didst not mark that?
Yes, that I did, but that was but courtesy.
Lechery! By this hand, an index and obscure prologue to the history of lust and foul thoughts. Villainous thoughts, Roderigo! When these mutualities so marshal the way, hard at hand comes the master and the main exercise, the incorporate conclusion. Pish! But sir, be you ruled by me. I have brought you from Venice. Tonight watch you for the guard. I'll lay it upon you. Cassio knows you not. Do you find some occasion to anger Cassio, either by speaking too loudly or tainting his discipline, or by what other means you prefer, that the time shall more favorably minister?
Well,
sir, he is sudden and rash in choler, and may happily strike at you. Provoke him that he may, for out of that will I cause these of Cyprus to mutiny, for whom true advantage shall not come in but by the displanting of Cassio. So shall you have a shorter journey to your desires by the means that I have to minister them, and the impediment most profitably removed, without which there can be no expectation of our future prosperity.
I will do this, if I can bring it to any opportunity.
I warrant thee. Meet me by and by the citadel. I must fetch his necessaries ashore. Farewell.
Adieu.
That Cassio loves her, I do well believe it. That she love him, 'tis of apt and great credit. The more, howbeit, I endure him not, is of a constant, loving, and noble nature, and I dare think he'll prove to Desdemona a most dear husband. Now I do love her too, not out of absolute lust, though peradventure I stand account for as great a sin, but partly led to die at my revenge. For that I do suspect the lusty Moor had leaped into my seat, the thought whereof doth like a poisonous mineral gnaw my inwards, and nothing can or shall content me till I am evened with him, wife for wife. Or at least I put him into a jealousy so strong that judgment cannot cure. Which thing to do with this poor trash of Venice, whom I trash for his quick hunting stand the putting on? I'll have our Michael Cassio on the hip, abuse him to the more in a rank garb. For that I do fear Cassio with my nightcap too. Make the more love me, thank me, reward me, for making him so egregiously an ass, and practicing upon his peace and quiet even to madness. 'Tis here, but yet confused. Knavery's plain face is never seen, tin used.
It is Othello's pleasure, our noble and most valiant general, that, upon certain tidings now arrived, importing the mere perdition of the Turkish fleet, every man put himself to triumph, some to dance, some to make bonfires, each man to what sport and revels his addiction leads him. For, Besides these beneficial news, it is the celebration of his nuptial. So much with his pleasure should be proclaimed. All offices are open, and there is full liberty of feasting from this present hour 5 till the bell had tolled 11. Heaven bless the Isle of Cyprus and our noble general, Othello.
Good Michael, look you to the guard tonight. Let's teach ourselves that honorable stop, not to outsport discretion.
Iago hath direction what to do, but notwithstanding with my personal eye will I look to it.
Iago is most honest. Michael, good night. Tomorrow at your earliest, let me have speech with you. Come, my dear love. The purchase made, the fruits are to ensue, that profits yet to come between me and you. Good night.
Oh, welcome, Iago. We must to the watch.
Not this hour, Lieutenant. 'Tis not yet 10 o' the clock. Our general casts us thus early for the love of his Desdemona, who let us therefore not blame. He had not made the night wanton with her, and she is sport for Jove.
Most exquisite lady.
And, I'll warrant her, fun of game.
Indeed, she's a most fresh and delicate creature.
What an eye she has! Methinks it sounds a parley of provocation.
An inviting eye, and yet methinks right modest.
When she speaks, is it not an alarum to love?
She is indeed perfection.
Well, happiness to their sheets. Come, Lieutenant, I have here a stoup of wine, and here without are a brace of Cyprus gallants, that would fain have a measure to the health of Black Othello.
Not tonight, good Iago. I have very poor and unhappy brains for drinking. I could, well, wish courtesy would invent some other custom of entertainment.
Oh, they are our friends. But 1 cup. I'll drink for you.
I